Hello everyone, Charles Watts here, the Arsenal correspondent at Goal, joining you on match day. Arsenal taking on Wolves later tonight at Emirates Stadium. I will be there, so keep your eye peeled for the usual stuff. If I get there in time, barring any traffic, that sort of thing, I'll do the usual live stream before the game, discussing the team news, letting you guys have a little watch of the warm-ups and debating hopefully what will be a very good game, answering some of your questions. And if I get time afterwards, I'll do the usual player ratings video. If not, then I'll pop on tomorrow, look at the game in a lot more depth, and hopefully discuss three valuable points, and I'll do my player ratings. Then, look, big game for Arsenal tonight, no doubt about it. I think it was before the Wolves game, wasn't it, at Molineux, when Mikel described it as having 17 cup finals left. Well, 15 now. Arsenal have won their last two since he said that, winning at Molineux, obviously 1-0, backing that up with a win against Brentford last weekend. And if they can win tonight, then that will complete what will have been a very good win. 9 points out of 9 for Arsenal in the race for the top four, putting them firmly back in the mix after what was a very difficult January. Just feels like a big game tonight against a Wolves team who can go above Arsenal in the league if they win tonight. They are in the top four race, no doubt about it. And Mikel Arteta, speaking at his press conference yesterday, freely admitted it was going to be a really difficult game, and there's no doubt that it will be. We saw last week at Molineux just how strong Wolves are, and didn't think Wolves played particularly well in that match, but they still caused Arsenal problems. They don't give away many goals. They've responded really well to that defeat against Arsenal, winning at Spurs, then backing up with a win against Leicester as well. 6 points out of 6 from them. So they've responded well. There's going to be this, I don't want to call it revenge, but they were obviously annoyed at the way Arsenal celebrated. I have no idea why, but they were annoyed at the way Arsenal celebrated that win against Molineux. So there's going to be that as well, which might give them an extra boost or two, or certainly sort of G them up in the changing room, that sort of thing. So it's going to be a difficult game for Arsenal, no doubt about it. Wolves won at the Emirates last season, obviously behind closed doors. One of those games. It was the game that Raul Jimenez, obviously that horrible skull fracture. I was there. I was right by where the corner came in, actually, and obviously it was behind closed doors. So there's no fans in the crowd. I'll never forget the noise of when that happened. It was really sickening. I remember back in the day at Highbury, I think it must have been 1993, 94. I can't even remember what the year was. I think it was Boxing Day. They were playing QPR, and Ian Selly, a former midfielder. Some of you remember him, some of you won't. And he broke his leg in that game, and you heard it. That was a full stadium that day as well, full Highbury. But you heard it. You heard the break. It sort of echoed round Highbury, and the Jimenez was the only other time I can remember something like that, and really hearing it was just horrible. And it was a really worrying moment. Mikel yesterday in his press conference was talking about it. He said it was one of the scariest moments he's ever had in football, and you could tell there was real concern there for the way Jimenez went off. Fortunately, he's back playing, which is great to see. He's in my fancy team actually, so I'm hoping tonight he doesn't get any points. Obviously, I'll freely take he got an assist at the weekend anyway, so he's already got me some points. So I'll freely take him having a bit of a nightmare game today and getting nothing. Because if he does, then you think Arsenal are going to be in with a good shout against a very decent Wolves team. I didn't think Wolves were great when Arsenal played them. Obviously, Arsenal was a really good win for Arsenal, given the circumstances at Molineux. But Wolves, I didn't think played particularly well. I think they'll play better. They tend to be better away from home slightly. Wolves had that really good counter-attacking side. They don't concede many goals. You look at the way they've responded to that defeat against Arsenal, winning at Tottenham, winning against Leicester. They've responded really well. And away from home, they cause problems because they've got such a solid base. They play well on the counter-attack. Neto's back now. I don't know if he'll start or not. He came on against Leicester, and he is a wonderful footballer. I really like Neto. Pedance as well has been playing really well. Jimenez holds the ball up, bring others into play. They're a dangerous outfit, Wolves, and they'll cause Arsenal problems, I think, tonight. And it's going to be a really difficult game. And Arteta said it himself in his press conference yesterday. He knows how difficult this is going to be. If Arsenal can get this win, can get those 3 points, and like I say, it will complete one hell of a good week for them, and it will kind of put some distance between them and Wolves. I wouldn't say it would totally knock Wolves out the running for the top four, but it will certainly open up a little bit of a gap, which will be a good thing. And it will send Arsenal into another weekend without any football this weekend. in just feeling very, very good about themselves ahead of next week's return. So big game, and I think the big thing is who does start for Arsenal tonight? Who is going to play in this 11? I don't think there's going to be too many surprises between now and the end of the season when it comes to the starting 11, providing everyone's fit. And at the moment, we think everyone's fit. I mean, if something's happened that we don't know about yet, we'll find out when the team news is announced later tonight. But there's only really two areas, I would say, where you look at it right now, certainly for tonight's game, and think, could someone else start? Is there going to be a little bit of surprise in the starting 11? And I'd say those are, you look at Emil Smith-Rowe and Gabriel Martinelli. Now, Gabriel Martinelli missed out the weekend. We know that he was suspended after that red card at Wolves. He's back available tonight. Now, Emil came in, having had to bide his time. He came in, was brilliant at the weekend, scored that crucial first goal. So what do you do now? Do you bring Martinelli back into the side, or do you leave him on the bench and continue with Emil Smith-Rowe? Personally, I think you stick with Emil Smith-Rowe now. I thought he was so good at the weekend. I don't think you can leave him out the side for that. For me now, and it would almost send out the wrong message. I think Martinelli deservedly, when he came into the side, he scored that goal against. It was in Newcastle a fair while ago, and kind of just stuck in the side ever since then. Was playing well, scored at Leeds, was performing really, really well. Player of the month, December, January. But now Smith-Rowe's come back in and he's scored and he's playing well. And I think this is what you need when it comes to competition in the squad. I think it sends out a little bit of the wrong message if someone comes in, makes his mark, and then immediately gets taken out the side again. I think Arteta's stuck. He could have played Cedric. He could have left Cedric on the bench at the weekend, for example, with Tomiyasu back available. But he went with Cedric because Cedric had played well at Wolves, and I think that was the right move. I do think that Tomiyasu probably comes back into the side tonight. Having said that, I certainly would bring Tomiyasu back in now. I thought it was the right move at the weekend because Cedric had played well, and it gives Tommy a little bit more time to get himself back up to speed, a few more training sessions under his belt after that injury layoff. But now, providing Tommy's fit, I think for me he comes back into the side for this one. Wolves have got some aerial threat as well. Jimenez great in the air, Tomiyasu fantastic in the air as well. If Jimenez peels off to the back post, you'd want Tomiyasu up there competing with him rather than Cedric. So for me, Tomiyasu would start, and they're the two areas: who plays at right back, who plays at on the left-hand side of the attack, and those are the two real questions in terms of who starts for Arsenal. The rest of the team, I think, barring any injuries we don't know about, like I said, it kind of picks itself right now, which is a good position for Arteta to be in, and hopefully it stays that way. I was listening to Bruno Lage's press conference yesterday, obviously after that game at Molineux. When was it? A week ago? Was it more than a week ago? 2 weeks ago, wasn't it? Wolves got a bit annoyed about the Arsenal celebration. I don't know why, because I didn't think they celebrated too much more than they normally do, and B, even if they did, who on earth cares? They'd had a dreadful January, hadn't won a game, went to Wolves, who could have gone above them in the league, played the last half an hour with 10 men, and they got a fantastic win. So why on earth? Why wouldn't they celebrate? And it wasn't like, they weren't running around waving their shirts around their head or anything like that. They were just celebrating. They were just high-fiving, hugging, celebrating with the away fans. So I don't know why Wolves were kicking off and throwing their toys out the pram a little bit afterwards. But Bruno Lage was speaking about it, about the game, and he was asking, is this revenge for Wolves? He said, it's not about revenge. After the game is finished, we shake hands and congratulate them because they won, and we move on. They did what they did. They held on with 10 men. They closed their goal, and they celebrated like us. If I was in their place, I would do the same. Maybe I would be more calm to celebrate, but we don't need to talk about players. Don't need to talk to the players about that. I think it was a good game. I think we played better against Arsenal than we did against Leicester. We need to play again against a strong team. And yeah, I think that's not bad. That's not bad comment from him, to be fair. The one thing, and he says maybe I'd be more calm to celebrate. About 3 days later, Wolves went to Spurs, won brilliantly, and they all celebrated in exactly the same way. All the players were charging over to the away fans at full time, celebrating with them, hugging. It's like, oh God, I hate the celebration police with an absolute passion. It winds me up. So I even, I don't want to celebrate Tottenham celebrating anything, but I even saw people having a go at how Tottenham celebrated that win at the weekend against Man City. I mean, if you're not going to celebrate going to Man City, conceding an equaliser, or you thought conceding an equaliser in the 92nd minute, and then winning it in the 96th minute, if you're not going to celebrate that, when are you ever going to celebrate? It's just ridiculous. Just let teams celebrate. I hate the celebration police. Really winds me up. I'm not going to rant about it again because I had a bit of a rant about it after the Wolves game a couple of weeks ago. But yeah, it really annoys me. And so yeah, hopefully Arsenal win again today and we see more celebrations at full time. And if Wolves win, I'll have no problem with them celebrating because it would have been a very big win for them. So just get over it, everyone. Let's move on. And yeah, hopefully enjoy the game tonight. So team news-wise, there's not really much to report, which is a good thing. Barring something that we don't know about, everyone's pretty much fit and available. Martinelli's back from his suspension. Tomiyasu, has had another week training. He's fit. So everything's looking pretty good. Mikel said in his press conference yesterday that there's no new injury concerns. I mean, whether he's being truthful, we don't know, because plenty of time they're not truthful when they say that in press conferences. And why would they be? Because they don't want to give away any secrets, anything like that. So we'll wait and see. But Arsenal in pretty good shape, no doubt about it, heading into this one tonight, which is good news. And as I kind of mentioned in this video, I think the predicted 11-wise, it kind of picks itself tonight, doesn't it? I just can't... There's two issues for me, as I mentioned, right back and left wing. And this is a predicted 11 that I think Mikel's going to go for. I think he's going to go Ramsdale in goal. I think Tomiyasu will come back in. Like I said, I think that would be the right call. I just think he's the right player when you got someone like Jimenez who's so good in the air, who can peel off to the back post for crosses. I think you get Tomiyasu on him. You're going to have a lot more chance of keeping him out than you would if you got Cedric on him. And that's not going to go at Cedric. Cedric's been good last couple of games, but Tomiyasu for me, if he's fit and available, now you bring him back into the team. So predicted 11 for me: Ramsdale, Tomiyasu, White, Gabriel, Tierney, Xhaka, Partey, Saka, Odegaard, Smith Rowe and Lacazette. It's not going to be too far off that. Maybe Martinelli will come back in and Smith Rowe will have to be on the bench. I doubt it. I just feel like Smith Rowe, if he's fit, he will start tonight given his performance at the weekend. And that's it. So one more time: Ramsdale, Tomiyasu, White, Gabriel, Tierney, Xhaka, Partey, Saka, Odegaard, Smith Rowe and Lacazette. Do you agree with that or not? Let me know. As always, put it in the comments below. What starting 11 would you go for tonight? Would you keep Cedric in? Do you think, like me, Tomiyasu should come back in? And who does play at that left back, that left wing role? Do you want to see, or would you play all four? Would you move Martinelli as a central striker, given Lacazette's lack of goals? Bring in Smith Rowe, keep Smith Rowe on the left, put Martinelli up front, and go with Saka, Odegaard, Smith Rowe, and Martinelli. On paper, I mean, that looks like an exciting front four, absolutely, doesn't it? Personally, and I've said this before, I still feel Lacazette is very essential to how Arsenal play. I know he hasn't scored many goals. He's got more assists than anyone else for Arsenal this season. No, it's 6. I think he's got a lot of assists recently. He set up Smith Rowe's goal at the weekend. And although he's not scoring, which is frustrating, and we need a striker to score, if Arsenal are going to finish top 4, Lacazette needs to get a few goals between now and the end of the season. But I still do think he brings other aspects into the game that are very important to the way Arsenal play. So personally, I'd stick with Lacazette, but I'm sure plenty of you would disagree with me. And if you do, let me know. Drop your comments in below and I'll give them a read probably on the way up to the match tonight. Thank you for watching, everyone. Please do enjoy your Thursday wherever you're watching a game around the world tonight, whether it be at the Emirates or anywhere, Australia, America, wherever, China. Enjoy it. Hopefully we can have 3 points, and if you don't hear from me after the game, then I'll be back tomorrow with a video dissecting hopefully what will be 3 valuable points. Have a good one, everyone. Speak to you soon.